They're a team to Vikings.
EA Sports coverage takes us to one of the newest jewels on the NFL landscape, U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. Now it's Carson, and heavy contact. He is knocked down hard, right at the 20. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Now Wilson on second down. Flush to his right. They find some open field here. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
You know, I don't think this is the last time we'll see that in this game. This guy has mobility, and they want to use his legs in the game plan. So there will be design runs as well as his scrambles.
And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. And a long way to go for the offense here on second down. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. Gets through, and now an opening. And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Vikings coming out here again to take over on offense. And this is a crew, obviously, that was so close, Charles, to becoming the first ever team to play a Super Bowl in their own stadium. So disappointment in that last game against Philly. But overall, I think they've got to be pretty pleased with the season.
They have to be because they put it all together. Won the NFC North. How about that win over the Saints in the divisional round? I mean, I don't know that they'll ever top that in terms of getting something done late in the game, especially with what was on the line. They do get Dalvin Cook back at running back next year. I think they'd still like to have...
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Adam Thielen, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead.
And no matter how it comes about, when you get good field position, you have to make the defense pay. Short fields usually make for good offense.
Forbath out to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Charles, earlier we talked a lot about Russell Wilson, what a great job he did last year in 2017 as Seattle's offense is working their way back onto the field. But they're probably going to need to find a running game to alleviate some of that pressure on Wilson, right?
Yeah, you think? I mean, my goodness, when you take a look at what Russell Wilson did, he more than doubled the rushing yardage of Mike Davis, who finished second. And Mike Davis didn't begin the year on Seattle's roster. They went through a number of runners this season, none of them that fit and really hit. Chris Carson, they thought, was going to be the guy who got hurt early in the year, but they definitely have to find...
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Ben Gideon from that outside linebacker spot. He's able to get in there for a loss of 9. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. Now it's Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down. Then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back. But it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Third and long. It's Wilson. Buying time to his left. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked off near the 29. And he'll take this down inside the 15-yard line. Before the offense changes hands here, let's look back at the Super Bowl February 5th. What a game. I know you were there calling it offensively, though. Impressive on both sides.
It certainly was, and let's face it, if you're in Minnesota, it's cold outside, but you talk about the offenses, they heated up in a big way. And how about Nick Foles? The backup quarterback turned MVP, 373 yards, 3 touchdowns, and, of course, the big one receiving.
And Rudolph has got it. The big tight end for a Viking touchdown. Kyle Rudolph, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And it's good to make it 14-0. Forbath out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. But before the possession switches here, I had written down that I wanted to talk about some of the awards this past season in the NFL. We know Brady was the MVP, but Todd Gurley, Offensive Player of the Year.
How about that for a bounce back? Many were questioning whether he'd had a sophomore slump the season before. Didn't even get to 1,000 yards. Was a dominant force in 2017. How about his teammate Aaron Donald on the defensive side? He took home Defensive Player of the Year award.
Yeah, very impressive. They had both sides of the ball. Sean McVay deserving, I think you would agree. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Emerson Griffin able to get him for a loss of about 3. On second down, here's Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off near the 29. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. CD, I want to get your thoughts on some potential free agents this offseason before we change the possession here. Now, caution, many of these guys could be resigned, I know, but who are some of them? Kirk Cousins is one.
Yeah, we're talking about difference makers. Kirk Cousins at the quarterback position. He's going to be coveted around the league by quarterback-needy teams. Case Keenum had a big year. Could he move? But how about running backs? Le'Veon Bell, Dion Lewis, some pass catchers, Jimmy Graham, Jarvis Landry, Sammy Watkins. And about the guy who goes and gets quarterbacks, DeMarcus Lawrence had a monster year for Dallas last season.
Yeah, a lot of big names that could be out there as free agents. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a third down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Third down, Dalvin Cook. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. That's not only Adam Thielen, that's the Pro Bowler Adam Thielen, who had 91 catches this year and over 1,200 yards, a career high.
We always look for great stories when we do games. Is there a better one this season than Adam Thielen in terms of where he came from to make a Pro Bowl roster as a receiver for the Minnesota Vikings? Lightly recruited out of high school, ends up at Mankato State, which is now known as Minnesota State Mankato. undrafted, goes to a rookie free agent tryout camp, hangs around, makes the practice squad. First, he's a special teams guy, and now he's one of the better receivers in the league. I think it's one of the best stories I've heard in 2017 NFL.
Well contained there defensively. The screen gets only a yard, and it's fourth. Keenum to throw for it on fourth. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen with his second touchdown of this opening quarter. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And it is now 21-0. Forbath out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. I want to give a hat tip real quick, Charles, to J.J. Watt before the possession switches here. Walter Payton, NFL Man of the Year. They totaled up how much he helped raise for hurricane relief, $37 million.
Incredible. Hurricane Harvey, which really hit the Houston area in a big way, and his original goal was $200,000. So congratulations to J.J. Watt and all the people who participated. And Greg Olsen of the Panthers, Benjamin Watson of the Ravens, both tight ends, also nominated and finalists for the most prestigious award as determined by the NFL, the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let them get to the second level because sometimes you'll break off the run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
They go play action here on first down. Dancing to his left. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Everson Griffin in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. And they'll send the slot in motion left. On second down, Wilson. Escaping the pressure. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Vikings pick up the football. The 20, 10, and they're going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So the football switching hands here in just a second. And, you know, Tom Brady, just to go off on a tangent for a second, may have lost the Super Bowl, but 3rd MVP this past season, and what he did at age 40, really something, right, Charles?
Absolutely phenomenal. Ended up beating out Todd Gurley, the running back for the Los Angeles Rams. but he would have traded it for a Super Bowl win, don't you think? How about this? The last 9 NFL MVPs to play in the Super Bowl that same season, 0-9.
Yeah.
He go all the way back to Kurt Warner in, what, 1999, where he won the double?
We were going over that stat earlier. That is hard to believe.
But he would have been the MVP had the Patriots pulled that one out.
Yeah, he still has 5 rings, though. 5 Super Bowl titles for Brady. Former Gamecock here. This is Mike Davis. And he is knocked down from the side. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position, and we just saw there some linebackers who can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
And not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there for the loss. Now Wilson throwing on 3rd and long. Flushed out right. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Vikings pick up the football. He already had the 1 fumble loss, so now 2 fumbles lost here in this first half.
Not setting the pace the way that you want it done. I mean, here in the first half, already twice the ball's come out and hit the turf. Got to find a way to take care of it. Otherwise, they may have to start thinking about maybe someone different at that position.
Let's go. First down, here's the run with Cook. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
And the slot man goes in motion left. They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Here we go now.
On 3rd down, it's Cook. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And that is no good. He pulled it just a bit, just a wee bit wide left. And this score will stay right where it is. So a bullet dodge there defensively. They surrender excellent field position on the kick return, but it winds up not costing him a thing.
And that's a tough sequence of events from an offensive perspective. The inability to get first downs leads to the field goal try. And the inability to cash that in leads to nothing on the scoreboard.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Two minutes to go here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Here's Wilson to throw. And it is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time when they couldn't connect on that short field goal try.
And no doubt about it, because they were counting on those points. In today's NFL, let's face it, that's really a chip shot, right?
That's anything inside 40.
Yeah, they're counting on that going through the post. But we've seen it happen to teams before. Some of the best kickers in the world can miss kicks like that. Can they come back now and redeem themselves?
And he is down deep into Seattle territory. Give him 30 yards there. From the red zone, it's Keenum. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. The first down screen pass, good for 5.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
On second down, Cook. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now the Georgia Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on third down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it, stuffed him for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
It's a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they get the field goal near the end of the first half to expand that lead.
Now, that's got to feel good, but they can't let up. Now on the kickoff, they've got to make sure they don't give up a big return or big yardage to set up the other team for one.
Forbath now to kick it away after the made field goal. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Looking to throw on second down. Wilson trying to lay one up deep. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he elects not to bring this one out as his guys will take over at the 25. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. That one good for 33 and a first.
Well, last year, I'm not sure we saw very many of those runs, did we, from the Vikings? I mean, they had the poorest rushing attack in the league.
Just 75 yards per game, but carries like the one we just saw, that'll help bolster that average.
Yeah, certainly, and they tried to beef up the offensive line in the offseason, brought in Latavius Murray, and then drafted Dalvin Cook out of Florida State.
No, check, Patriots,
Now a first down throw. Keenum steps away to his left. And Rudolph has it left side. Touchdown, Vikings. Kyle Rudolph. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And this Viking offense is running away with this one.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up. 4
touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the third. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second
half? Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start. Partner, I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now. Wilson to give to Rolls. And he is going to feel that one. Knocked down hard at the 24-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Wilson and the offense not coming off the field. They're going for it on 4th. They'll indeed go for it with Wilson. Being chased out left. Now he'll let it go on the run. And his pass is intercepted. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Vikings pick up the football. And he coughed it up. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away. Throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Linval Joseph in there to record another sack. Their 6th of the afternoon. Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. Forced out to his left. And now here is another interception. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. Throwing now is Keenum. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. A big play there for Minnesota. And even 40 yards. A give. This is Cook. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now let's go.
And they'll send the slot in motion left.
39.
Again, it's Cook. And he is out of bounds, but not before taking this inside the 10 to the 7. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The pigskin on the 7-yard line now. It's first and goal. Carry for their fullback. And a big hit there as he runs into a brick wall. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's second down. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. And again, they'll go right back to their fullback. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to third and goal. And the slot man goes in motion left. And how big would this win be for the defense here? Third down and goal from the 10. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up a fourth down. On now is Kai Forbath to try the field goal. Bradford to throw for it on 4th. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off down at the 2. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Very tough spot here for the offense to start. They'll begin the drive with Carson. And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for second down. He's got room to run past the 20. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. 38 yards on the scamper there.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him. But don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
Yeah, nobody leaked. Big play. To throw is Wilson. To throw on second down. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. A big play there. 49 yards. And the Seahawks are able to at least knock this deficit down a bit. Blair Walsh on to attempt the extra point. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate. When we talk with people about what we think the most important quality for an NFL quarterback to possess, what do people usually say?
Arm strength, and he showed the arm strength there.
Yeah, pretty good bullet pass he threw, but he wasn't accurate, was he?
No.
Listen, you like mobility, but accuracy, first and foremost, is what a quarterback needs. He didn't possess it on that play.
And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on second down. McKinnon. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
One of the things I love about this game is there's a match of wits throughout the game. Who's going to get the advantage? Who's going to catch someone off guard? I feel like the offense thought they might catch the defense off balance with that play call, but unfortunately, that didn't work for them.
So plenty of leg, but it's the accuracy there that lets him down.
Yeah, he hit it really well. I think this might have been good from 55, but you'll see it just conk off that upright, and they're denied a chance at 3 points.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. They'll run it now out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. Going for the deep ball. And this is caught at the 20. And that one results in 35 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, and sometimes that just happens. It is the NFL. They will make some plays against you.
A swing pass caught. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. They'll try to run with Carson. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here this close, sneaking.
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. On 3rd and goal, Wilson buying time to his left. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Everson Griffin in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. Flush to his right. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Ben Gideon in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. And out now come the Vikings. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels because every team has a goal when they start the year to to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages.
Here we go.
Oh, not running. Keenum wants to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
On 3rd down, that's Cook. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon.
And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's got, and that's caught inside the 35. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
And they just hit another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
The age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
On 1st and 10, here's Keenum. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. K.J. Wright from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8. Here's Keenum now on 2nd down. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
And this one is right down Broadway. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. But, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator,